Hi, my name is Carly Ray. This is my informative speech on dreams and nightmares. Have you ever dreamt that you are walking along the side of a road or along a cliff and suddenly you trip and you are falling for what seems like forever, but before ever hitting the ground you wake up? Well, this is considered to be a falling dream. Ironically, falling dreams occur as you are drifting off to sleep. However, they interpret a completely different meaning. Falling can mean you feel insecure, you feel you are losing grip, or you simply have fears that need to be faced. Patricia Garfield, the author of the book Creative Dreaming, states, "There's some problem that is making you feel helpless, like you have no support. So next time you wake up startled from a falling dream, ask yourself, what upcoming events do I fear I will fail?" In my speech today, the audience will understand the reasoning as to why we dream and the interpretations behind dreams and nightmares. First, let's take a look at the scientific view behind dreams. The National Sleep Foundation reported that 80% of teenagers get too little sleep. Teens normally require 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep, but only average out to 7 per night. During sleep is typically said to be a person's best thinking hours. Why is this? Believe it or not, dreaming is a sign that your brain is working while you are asleep. During rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, is when we dream most vividly. According to some researchers, dreams have no meaning behind them whatsoever, but others believe that dreams are symbols of troublesome issues in our waking lives. Natalie Anger, a columnist from the New York Times, describes how the brain works during sleep. She states, "The primary visual cortex, which is located on the lower back end of the brain, is the part of the brain that receives signals from the visuals of the outside world, which is dormant. Then you have your secondary visual cortex, which is on the upper back end of the brain, and this interprets and receives the signals and makes sense of them. This part is not dormant. This is active." Another interesting point Ms. Anger makes is while in REM sleep, there is a part of the brainstem about the size of a pea that basically controls your muscles and paralyzes your body. So while you are dreaming, you have the sense of movement, but you are not getting anywhere. This explains why people get so frustrated during their dreams. They are trying to reach a point they cannot fully get to because their body is literally paralyzed. Also, have you ever felt as if your body is asleep, but your mind is awake and you're sitting outside of your body staring at yourself? Well, I know I have, and this is because you are in such a deep sleep that your body has literally left its soul, or your soul has literally left your body and cannot find its way back in. You may think I am making this up, but it is quite common. Lastly, do you find yourself not remembering your dreams or only remembering a tiny bit when you wake up? Well, Dr. Robert Stickold from Harvard Medical School tells people to drink a lot of water before they go to bed. His reasoning behind this is that when you frequently wake up through the night to go to the restroom, for example, you tend to remember your dreams better. If you do not remember your dreams when you wake up, then you are considered to be in delta, which is a sleep too deep. Now that we have talked about the scientific terms behind dreaming, let's take a look at the fascination behind nightmares. On the nightly talk show Larry King Live, during an interview with Sylvia Browne, she states, "Nightmares are releases. In other words, they are a tea kettle. You've got to have a spout that lets off steam." About 75% of emotions and content in a dream are negative, says Natalie Anger. In fact, people generally sleep through disturbing dreams known as bad dreams. Bad dreams. However, this is not the case for a nightmare. A nightmare is a bad dream that is so terrible it'll make you wake up in the night. Say, have any of you ever realized you were having a nightmare or realized you were dreaming and told yourself to wake up? Well, this is what researchers call lucid dreaming, or in other words, you are aware you are dreaming and participating in it. Not only can you participate in your dreams, but if you try hard enough, you can actually control them. For instance, Philip from Milford, Michigan, had a reoccurring dream about the age of 7, and in this dream, he was on a moving platform that took him throughout a haunted house, and in this haunted house, giant scary monsters would scare him to the point where he would bolt up at night. Finally, one night, Philip defeated his nightmare. It began the same way it had every other time, but as he approached the platform, he thought to himself, Why would I get back out there? I get scared every time. So instead, Philip rearranged his dream by crawling around the side of the house and staring inside the window where he should be standing. Since that night on, he never had the dream again. Basically, what researchers have discovered is if you wake up from a nightmare, it will reoccur. But if you stop and face the fears and defeat the nightmare, then it will go away forever. All in all, dreams provide each and every one of us with an endless amount of creativity. I never understood why I would have strange dreams and that I could never depict a meaning towards. In fact, most people's dreams can be so far-fetched they wake up mind-boggled. But in the end, dreams and nightmares are simply symbols decoding events in reality. So don't be alarmed if you are being chased by a big hairy monster or running from a serial killer. Turn around and stand up for yourself. 60% of the time, it is you, your own worst critic, that you are chasing after.